Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of the 5D Plus tutorial series. In this part, before we get into the detailed instructions, I want to mention an important principle that you need to grasp when working with 5D. That is the way 5D creates and manages objects. As you can see, each object created by 5D is placed in front of the camera according to the viewpoint of each scene. For scenes with a cut mark, it will be placed right at the position of a cut mark. As for scenes without a cut mark, for example if you're standing in front, it will be placed at the edge, at the border of the box below the scene level. Here you can see that the grid of beams and the grid of columns are positioned on the plane in front of the box below the scene level. For the scene at the back, the grid of columns and the grid of beams are created and placed behind the box below the scene level. Next, you will notice and observe. The objects that are created are named. Here, for the elevation grid, they are named 5D risk at the back and categorized as elevation grids. The same applies to the column grid, 5D risk at the back and categorized as column grids. Next, 5D also manages these objects by tags. You'll notice that when I select an object, you'll see its tag. It's the one with the words 5D plus sin back. This back is actually the back part of the name sin. So here you'll see that each object is assigned a tag, or what we also call a layer, to make management easier. And importantly, all these tags and layers are referred to as the tags of sin. They follow the structure of the name 5D plus sin hyphen then the name of the sin. When you're in a scene, you'll notice that only one sin tag is enabled and all the other sin tags are switched off. When you switch sin, or in other words change scenes, you'll see the eye icon automatically change. And their job is simply to be enabled. At any given time, only one sin tag is enabled. All the other sin tags must be switched off. What's the purpose of this? For example, as you can see on this first floor, I have a column grid like this. Suppose I want to change the way the column grid is displayed. For instance, I'll redraw the column grid. I won't display the symbols at the top, nor will I show the symbols on the right-hand side. And I click OK. At this point, you can see that we have a different column grid. It only displays the symbols at the bottom and on the left-hand side. However, if we switch to Scene Story 1 dimension, you'll see that the column grid is still fully displayed. So you'll notice that in each scene we have a different column grid and they're assigned different tags, not all of the same type. This allows us to flexibly represent different shapes of column grids for each individual scene. That's what I want you to grasp when working with 5D. In part 1, 5D helped you create floor plans, elevations and sections. However, the sections are not necessarily place them exactly where you want, then I'll show you how to adjust the section marker to the correct position and in the right way. Here we have two methods. When we're in the section scene, we turn on the section marker display using this button. Then you'll select the section marker, which will be highlighted in yellow to indicate it's active. Select it, then activate the Move tool and move the section marker as you normally would in your daily work. However, this method has its drawbacks. Watch closely. Right, I've just moved the section marker and you'll see that when you move the marker, the objects created by 5D don't automatically move accordingly. So I don't recommend using this method because if you do, you might still have to update things manually by pressing again. For example, if you want to recreate the building, you press level, right, okay, then the building will automatically be moved to the correct position of the new section marker and so on. When you move the column breach, the column grid will also automatically move to the new section marker position. So this method is rather a hassle. Therefore, the correct way, and the one I recommend, is as follows. First, you need to create a section marker symbol using the label creation tool in 5D. Go to the Labels tool and create a label. There are quite a lot of different buttons here. But you only need to use the tool. Create a section map label. This tool will open a dialog box allowing you to customize the offset as well as the rotation angle, or something like that, but don't worry about it for now. And at the same time, it will automatically display the section markers you want to draw as symbols. If you want to manually create a specific section marker, you can select that marker in advance. But here, I want to create all 4 section markers like this, so I won't select anything. I'll leave it unselected and then click OK. At this point, 5D Plus will automatically draw the section marker symbols for you exactly at the positions of the actual section markers and name them according to the existing section names here. Now, I will use the Scene Management tool to create a batch of section markers for all the scenes at once. Through the Batch Action tool, I'll select all the scenes. I'll click on the Batch Action button, Book Actions. Then I'll untick the box that's already set to create a column grid. At this point, I'll click on it. Here, Create Label means to create a label. Just click here and enter it yourself. Then tick the section mark box, which means a section marker. After that, I click OK. At this stage, 5D will automatically go through all the scenes and automatically draw the section marker symbol for every scene. Once the task is done, we'll check through level 1 of this architecture at this dimension, then level 2 at this dimension, level 3 at this dimension, and from the front here, as you've seen, and from the back, left and right as well. So you can see that 5D has automatically created a series of section markers for you. Next, there's a rather interesting tool. When these section markers are created, they become a navigation tool for you. When you use the Select tool and hover your mouse over a type of section marker, it turns red. If you right-click, a menu will appear with a command called Go to Section Scene, which means we'll move to the section or cross-section created by this marker. You'll see it generates this section, this viewpoint, and we continue in the same way. Click here, select Go to Section Scene. This is a navigation tool that uses section marker symbols. That's not all. These symbols, combined with the Select tool, not only help you navigate between scenes, but also assist you in moving the section marker correctly. This is the second method. Suppose I want to see which direction section marker number 6 is facing and what its current state is. Using the Select tool, hover the mouse over it and choose Go to Section Scene. As you can see, I have the column grid, the elevation grid and the label symbol currently positioned on this plane. Now I'm going to move the section marker. Instead of turning on the section marker display and moving it as usual, like in method 1, I'll return to the ground floor scene. Then I use the Select tool and hover the mouse over the section symbol number 6. At this point, instead of right-clicking, I'll left-click and drag the section marker. Move the section marker to another position. For example, I'll drag it over to this spot. There, release the mouse button. At this point, a dialog box appears asking whether you want to update all the scenes affected by moving this section marker. I confirm by clicking yes and wait for a moment. Once this action is confirmed, 5D will not only automatically move the section marker to the new position for you. Here, this is the new position of the section marker. And it also automatically helps you move all the objects created by 5D, such as the column grid and the project grid, to the new position of the section marker. At the same time, 5D automatically shifts the section marker labelled number 6 in all scenes to the new position. As you can see, all the scenes with the number 6 have been moved to the new position, closer to number 7. This is the second method and the recommended way for you to move markers with 5D. Next, I will show you how to draw an elevation marker. In the label area, you will notice there are 2 elevation labels: external elevation, which means exterior elevation, and interior elevation, which means interior elevation. Here, I will automatically place an exterior elevation marker for you to see. I will press this button and click OK. Immediately you'll see that 4 small arrows have been created. These are the arrows. E1 is the front elevation view, E2 is from the left, looking from the right to the left, E3 is the rear, and E4 is from the left, looking to the right. Similarly, I still use the Select tool and hover the mouse over the elevation marker, right-click and choose Go to Elevation Scene to go to the elevation view in that direction. As you can see, just like the section marker, the elevation marker can also be used as a navigation tool in combination with the Select tool in 5D. When you need to change these section markers to another name, do the following. Activate the Select tool, hover the mouse over the marker you want to change and double click. At this point, a data entry box will appear with 2 fields. The first field allows you to change the symbol number 7 to another symbol. For example, I enter S1. The second is the input field. Page number means the name of the drawing symbol you create, so I will enter A301. This is the symbol for the drawing where we place section marker number 7. Click OK, and immediately 5D will automatically not only change the section marker symbol in this scene, this section, but 5D will also automatically move and update the section marker symbol in other locations. For example, if you draw a floor plan, you will still see S1 A301. Similarly, if you want to change the symbol, simply activate the Select tool, then hover the mouse, double click and change it to S2 and A302, then click OK. 5D will automatically synchronize all the symbols and all the sections for you. Then you just need to switch to the section you want to view. For example, switch to this section and you'll see the section marker symbol has automatically changed accordingly. Thank you for watching this second part of the video. In part 3, I will give detailed instructions on how to use all the remaining labels in the label creation area. Bye bye.